Hey, how's everyone doing? Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. It's definitely going to be a treat tonight. No tricks.
Hey, Robert, how's it going? Vincent Dunn here in Seattle.
I'm sorry, who is it?
Vincent Dunn, Seattle, Washington.
Hey, Vincent. You're the rock star. How's it going? Yeah, good job. Vincent brought in, what, 10, 12 people, man. You reached the limit of freebies. After 10, you only get 5 freebies. And then in about 30 days, like as Christmas rolls around, you keep bringing people in, I'll start giving you some more freebies. And hopefully lots of Bitcoin. Let me open up chat. I think you're muted, Tony, by default. But that's okay. You can unmute and say something real quick if you want, or then just stay muted because I want to have everyone muted. Tom Cohn cycled a second time today. Yes, indeed. Tom is, he's been with me for a while, and this is the first time I think Tom has invited folks into programs. He's invited in, I want to say 2 or 3 people already. I think he's already earned a free spot. Tonight is the cutoff. If you get 2 people, you get 1. And then come tomorrow, you're going to need to get 3 people, then you get 1. And it's going to be kind of an average of the 3 people you bring in. So yeah, people are still popping in here. I'll let it build up here a little bit before we get started. I usually start around 6:05, 9:05, depending upon your time zone. It is Halloween. I'm in California. It's not even dark yet, but I know back when I was a kid, we all waited till it got dark and then we went trick-or-treating. But nowadays, some parents take their kids out when it's still light because, we all know what happened today in New York City. Another crazy loon drove a truck through New York City, killed so far about 8 or 9 people, injured quite a bit. Luckily, there was a guy driving a school bus with some children on it, and he literally saw the Home Depot. The guy, the so-called terrorist, rented the Home Depot truck to do it, and he saw it happening, and he drove the school bus into it to stop him, so he wouldn't have to kill any more people. So not a very good Halloween in the U.S., especially New York City. It's been quite a while since there's been a major terrorist act in New York City. We all know about the World Trade Centers. That kind of changed the face of history. It's just a shame, right? I don't know what religion they have, but my religion says you don't go around killing innocent people. That is, that's bad. Okay, so welcome everyone. Happy Halloween. I was just covering the current events. I'm gonna go out. We'll look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin been very, very good to me. I don't know if you guys ever watch Saturday Night Live, but let me make sure that I'm going to. First thing I do is try to turn off. I'm going to disable the participants so they can't draw on my screen. It's like sometimes it's like a kindergarten class. Yeah, pretty good night. Every time I get up in the morning, I go to my cell phone and I have Coinbase chart saved on my cell phone. I'm not a big chart addict. I only looked at the chart once when I woke up this morning, and I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I just got busy and did a bunch of stuff, helping everyone update their boards. I got a really cool thing about the boards now I'll kind of be talking about a little bit. It's I'll mention it towards the end. Just make sure someone in chat remind me. I'll update you on the board link updates. But here is charts today. We've had some sell-off just in the last few hours. Quite a good day though, overall. Got some pop here because I think people, overall it's just Bitcoin's becoming more and more accepted globally. That's what's really driving up the supply and demand of people buying Bitcoin. And then also There's an exchange now, Ledger X, where investors can invest in Bitcoin futures. It's on the SEC finally let it slide to the U.S., so a lot of money coming into Bitcoin there. And then there's a new coinira.com site that was advertised a lot on Fox News this week that actually allows you to invest in your IRA investment accounts and buy Bitcoin. It's coinira.com. I'll go there now and check it out. I was looking at it. Earlier when it was the first time I saw it on a commercial. I'm like, man, they're taking this stuff serious. So you can do a Coinira guide and call the 800 number, but it just basically allows you to set aside Bitcoin for your 401k retirement, which we're all kind of doing right now. So we actually, not only do we benefit from the price going up, that's this icing on the cake is what I call it, because what we're doing is building a big unified Bitcoin income network that we can build both instant and residual income with Bitcoin. So when the Bitcoin price goes up, that's just, like I say, icing on the cake, or just gravy on the potatoes. We're building the potatoes, we're building the cake, right? Long-term network wealth with Bitcoin, and having the price go up is just an added benefit. There's still going to be maybe some impact on November 15th. I'll come out of share here just to let. November 15th is another hard fork, supposedly. There's been some announcement. BitPay just emailed all their customers. Coinbase did. It's going to be SegWit 2X, Bitcoin 2X. It's funny because we're Bitcoin X4. So I was joking last night or the night before that Nakamoto is going to be pinging me on Facebook. You got to take the X out of your name because we're using that. So in 2019, we'll probably have Bitcoin X4s will be a token. So you guys are now at the beginning of that. All right, 6:08. I'll be starting a presentation here shortly. I'm just letting more people pop in. Happy Halloween, everyone. Robert Cash, Crypto Cash King. I was going to do a happy hour just about an hour ago, but I was too busy sending Bitcoin to people and cycling people. We had 10, 15 people cycle today. And it's cool when you cycle because all I do is message you on Facebook. You send me your wallet, and boom, you get your Bitcoin within seconds. And we'll cover towards the end the 4 top questions. How long you've been around, how long does it cycle, how long does it take to cycle, do I have to recruit to earn, how do we get paid, when do we get paid. All those little things will be towards the end. And then also on the bar out here, folks, any paid members, there's some guests and paid members, but just start typing in your personal testimony. I started 2 weeks ago with $25 and I've made $300. I started, a week ago with 50 and made 150. I know that some people are cracking, they're already over $1,000 in earnings, if not approaching $2,000 in earnings in just 2 weeks. We just eclipsed 500 members in 2 weeks. When I first started this 2.5 weeks ago, I had a dream, right? No offense to Martin Luther King, God rest his soul. He was a powerful man. We're still living the dream with the whole, all that going on with the kneeling and everything. So it is what it is. But I had a dream and a vision of this program and everything, and it eclipsed everything I've ever would imagine. And it is only going to get better from here. We're super healthy in terms of cash flow. We could last for a long time. And then, how Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams, I don't know if you ever saw that, build it and they will come. And it was always the funniest part of the movie is when the baseball players come out of the cornfield onto the baseball field and they're like, is this heaven? He's like, no, this is Iowa. But it might as well be heaven, right? Is this heaven? No, this is Bitcoin. I started on Friday the 13th, made 150 first week, 150 second week. Yeah, so see what's happening now, folks, is that when, everyone's like, when am I going to cycle? When am I going to cycle? If you do this right, you're going to turn it into a weekly, a monthly residual income. you're going to be cycling consistently, and you'll start to chart it, and you'll start understanding that, well, I shouldn't have maybe cashed out too much. I'll go into a little bit towards the end as well about cash outs and reinvestment, repurchasing. Everyone gets a new spot on the board that they cycle on as default, but I also want to encourage people to invest at least a little bit back in, but also take some cash out. There's quite a few people, it is what it is, they want to just put everything back in, which is okay for now, but we want to make sure that we balance it out. You want to take about 50% of your earnings back in and 50% out. Once you recover your principal, then you're playing with house money, right? I don't know if anyone knows that, but it's just essentially you look at your initial purchase, right? And everything you made, and you minus your initial purchase from everything you made, that's profit. And then when you get your principal out, principal is your initial purchase. And if you come up with new Bitcoin to come in, like some people come in at 25, they cycle at 75, they take their 75 and they take 50 out, and all of a sudden they realize, man, this actually works. Hey, I'm going to buy another 50 and 100. So all of a sudden they're coming out with new Bitcoin out of their wallet, right? But you also need to calculate that. So I've spent 175 of my money, right? But once those cycle and you get about $500, you take that 150 out, and now you have your chips back, right? You have, and you're playing with that 350 delta, the difference, and that's house money. When you're playing with house chips, you go to Vegas, you play with house chips, you know you're rolling. Because you always want to come, you go to the ATM machine, you know how it is, you get $100. All right, I'm going to spend $100 tonight. You get on the blackjack table, you get on dice or whatever, and you start playing a little bit, and all of a sudden you win. You win $100. Well, you broke even, basically, right? That's why it's so funny sometimes when you're on Facebook and someone's, in like Quest or Atlantic Group or some of the big programs, right? Hey, I made $1,000 this week, but they don't tell you they put 10 grand in to make 1,000. But I digress. You want to take your principal out as soon as possible, and then you're playing with house money. Now, having said that, you want to also understand that you're also playing with my money, the Bitcoin export money. So you don't want to constantly rake in your earnings. You want to kind of reinvest into the company because it's going to pay you long term. Okay. Yeah, Tom, cycle twice, 50 into 200. Yeah, and then it's only just begun. It's only just begun to pay out. And it is a progression, and it's interesting because what's happening is people are beginning to understand money, and they're like, wow, with leverage and team and sharing, and I'm actually creating, and I add value by sharing and helping people, and I'm getting rewarded with Bitcoin, and I'm getting rewarded quite a bit more than I put in. And now I'm going to start to really, because when I ping people and say, hey, you cycled, they're going to be, okay, wait a minute, what? And, first of all, they're shocked they haven't made money ever online. And then I say, okay, well, you have $75 now in the bank, so you can go shopping, right? I can send that 75 to you, and you can buy your husband or wife or your significant other a present or go out to eat, or you can take 50 and buy another 50 spot, because that's going to turn into 150 in a couple of weeks. Or, so you have shopping money. And people are starting to really think about money now, and it's really cool because they start to understand the power of money. It's either I take some or I reinvest. I don't like to talk too much about investments, and because some people, is this approved by SEC and FTC and da. No, it's just people and friends coming together and helping each other, sending crowdfunding, donations, instant member-to-member payments. We're just helping each other raise more Bitcoin so we can get into longer-term programs to build short, midterm, and long-term wealth. And the reason I've done this, and I'll go into this whole presentation and why we're unique, is it solves 2, if not 3 of the top problems, major problems online trying to make money. Number 1, people don't have money. Number 2, people don't know how to recruit. Number 3, I don't think there is a third. If you solve those 2 problems, you've made it. Because once you've got money and you know how to share and invite, welcome to the promised land. And at the end of the day, though, you need a backbone and a network with solid programs. Now, you have a bogus program, and you know how to, and you have money, and you know how to invite, you can lose a lot of money, right? So that's maybe the third thing. The third thing is having a solid team, system, program. There's probably 10, but I try to keep things real simple. If you haven't noticed yet. Because all this program is you pick a board, you send me Bitcoin, and you get into a group, and you get your website, and you share. That's it. And the only other problems people are having right now is wanting to see their board link. Where am I at? This is the first time I've ever paid money for a program. I don't even know where I'm at. All I go to is Facebook and see all these people, you know, liking and juicing and commenting and cycling. It's like, where is my back office? Where is my your back office is Google Docs, and I'll get into that. All right, so testimonies are flying, and then also maybe not too many questions, but just testimonies over there while I present. I'll be presenting for the next 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we'll start covering some questions, and you want to type them out. I'll cover the top 4. After I cover the top 4, there's not any question. The only question you have is, what's the group wallet address so I can send my Bitcoin? And I may even post a group wallet address in the chat. So if anyone needs the group wallet address to buy a board, what you do is you get that wallet, you send money in, and then you ping me on Facebook, and I'll go over that too. You don't just want to friend me because I'm at 5,000 friends, and I can't delete friends fast enough to let my private members in, because I want you more than I want about 4,000 of those 5,000 friends, to be honest with you. I need to download that Facebook friend deletion app. But I scroll on my phone because it's a lot easier than, you know, if you ever try to go through your friends and try to delete them, I don't know if Facebook intentionally does it this way or what. You know how you scroll down your friends? If you have like more than 1,000 friends, it takes like a half an hour to scroll 3 pages. It's just so much data. And you think that their server farms are probably the biggest, as far as I can see. You can't get my web page to load. You got to get my web page loaded faster so I can delete my friends. But what I was going to say is, don't just friend me and then go off a week later and come back. You direct message me. I go in my direct messenger. Now, when you direct message me, you don't say, hey, Robert, delete. You're gone. You say, hey, Robert, I'm interested in Bitcoin X4. I just paid. Here's my hash. Boy, I accept that message. I accept. You're in my top queue of my messages. I'm running 80 to 100 messages at any given moment. And I go down to the bottom. I try to get to them. I go to the bottom. I get to them. So, all right, let's get started. But it's a beautiful time to be alive, folks. A lot of craziness. But man, if it's all about being right in the mind, and being positive and enthusiastic and hungry, and the opportunity is endless. It's infinite. And Bitcoin is like, it's almost like, it's like talk about infinite possibilities. Bitcoin. Okay, so. It's Halloween night. There's a lot of folks that would probably be on this meeting that are walking their kids around the neighborhood trick-or-treating. So yeah, I mean, my kids are in college, and all they want to do is, can you send me some more money? I'm going up to visit my daughter a couple days from now, and there may be some knocks on the door, but I'm back in the bedroom, so my wife will be answering. We don't get much trick-or-treaters where we're at. We're in a really busy street, and we're a little bit off the beaten track. So, but I kind of. I remember all the trick-or-treat stories, right? We've all been through. I love the houses when you go up and there's this like fake person sitting in a rocking chair, and they're just sitting there, and you look at them, you get real close, and they jump at you. And there was that one America's Funniest Videos, and the guy was sitting in the porch, and he was just had a pumpkin on his head, he's all trying to be funny, and this older dude came up with his son or whatever, and he tried to scare him. That's not funny. Not supposed to hit anybody. I learned that in kindergarten. Okay, let me get started here. I tell you what. Okay. So welcome to Bitcoin, or Unified Bitcoin Team's Bitcoin X4 presentation. Now, most of you on the call may know, or you went to the website, but really, ultimately, the Bitcoin X4 system, it just applies the market-proven methods of crowdfunding, direct member-to-member donations and payments, and the power of Bitcoin and team system leverage to turn a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin in a short period of time. That's why we're all here, and it's working beautifully. So in summary, we apply power of team leverage help everyone raise Bitcoin funds quicker. A little about myself, Robert Cash, Crypto Cash King, and some of you may know me from the Bitcoin Happy Hour or follow me on Facebook. My background is 30 years in sales and marketing. Bachelor degree, MBA graduate, 16 years in the payment software business. I spent I've been kind of virtual retirement over the last couple years, but before that, 16 years, putting all my kids through college and raising them in the payment software business. I help businesses automate their payments. So it's kind of an interesting space because that's what Bitcoin does. It automates payments. I was selling software that automated the banking payments, ACH, and clearinghouse payments. So if a business had to send $100 million to another business for a big boatload of cars or whatever, they send electronic payments. And then I also automated the invoicing. When they sent a paper invoice, I would turn it into an electronic document, and they would go to a website, and they can download the electronic document and make electronic payments. And then in the last 3 years, I've been in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Wish I got started about 5 years ago. I kind of started hearing about it 5 years ago, and we all thought it was just a fad. Boy, were we wrong. So in the last 3 years, it's been just an astronomical growth in the industry for many reasons, and I'll cover that shortly. My experience of network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing, online, I've built teams in the thousands, and I'm going to be doing it again. And hopefully this will be the last team I build, right? It's going to be the Unified Bitcoin team. We'll have 5,000, 10,000 members or more, and then we all just help each other make a bunch of Bitcoin, right? And have hang out. Yeah. So what is Bitcoin? Most people, all they know is they want a lot of it, and they want it now. It's like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I want it now, Daddy. I want Bitcoin now. So Bitcoin is really a digital asset that not only is it and it's also a value, a digital value asset, meaning that you can exchange it for goods and services and pay each other with it, and it's actually now a valid value of exchange. So it's getting close to where it is a currency, and it wasn't really recognized, but over the last couple of years, it's now recognized as a currency. So it's a digital currency. It also has a beautiful thing to it as well. It's not only just a form of payment, but it comes along with its own payment network, the blockchain network. Built and started getting built about 10 years ago in kind of solitude. It's a decentralized network. Supposedly the Satoshi Nakamoto was one of the initial engineers. There's a few other folks that were involved to build the initial blockchain network that digitally registers all transactions on the ledger. And the ledger is just a digital record of all transactions. So essentially you start with a wallet, and then you send money over, and as the transaction gets validated by a miner is just someone that has a bunch of computers that do complex transactions to validate the validity of the transaction, and then they get awarded and paid in Bitcoin. So, and the battle right now when it hard forks is optimizing this network and making sure the miners get paid is what it really comes down to. It's a little bit of a power struggle, but there's so much infrastructure built that it ain't going anywhere. All they're going to do is optimize it. And the reason why I put banks here, or this picture puts banks here, is that you do have to cash out of Bitcoin to get it into your local currency so you can pay your bills. Soon you'll be able to pay your bills and pay everyone with Bitcoin. Soon I think Amazon.com is looking at paying or adding Bitcoin as their payment. In fact, I was at breakfast buying my daughter a new bike, and it was on sale. It was 20% sale. Their 7-year anniversary is a really cool bike because she goes to a college where all they do is bike. There's hardly any. It's just a big biking university, and so she needed a new bike. So I went online. She sent me with the exact bike she wants, and I went to the checkout, and it said, "How do you want to pay? Visa, MasterCard, Coinbase, or PayPal?" And I'm like, yes. I don't really use Coinbase, but it was so cool because part of the checkout process, they asked, do you want to pay with Bitcoin? You can buy now Ferraris with Bitcoin, houses, and it's getting accepted globally for everything. So what is Bitcoin X4? And, if you get a little more granular, it's really incorporating these market-proven methods of team leverage and the real simplistic matrix of a 2x2. On a board. And a board is just really a presentation of this is your status of where you're at on the board. And it's a 2x2. And if you look here, You start here when you first buy in. You buy your 25 spot, your 50 spot, your 100 spot. You start here. And then what happens is if there was 3 people here, you came in, I added you to the board, boom, this person now considered cycled and paid out. Once they get paid out, they go right to the next board to help the next boards pay out. So it's a true follow me system. I'll be going over that here shortly. But why did I create it? I mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I mentioned it as it started out. Was it really just to earn more Bitcoin faster and to raise Bitcoin funds faster and solving the 2 biggest problems online to making consistent money, which is problem 1, no one has money to make money. Kind of a tough problem to have. And I cover this quite a bit, but you really do need money to make money, or you need to be a really good networker and get a lot of people together that do have money, so you can then earn some money so you can make money. Or you go find a job to find money so you can use money to create money. Or you go try to borrow money, OPM, other people's money, outside funding, or go to a bank. This is how all small businesses start in America. Or some people take their savings, they take equity out of their house, they max out their credit cards to get money to start business to make money. Does that make sense? There is no way around this universal law. The only way around it is to be able to network with people that do have money if you don't, so you can then prosper and share in the value of putting them together. And what you do is when they come together, they're making money, you get rewarded for inviting them to make money, and then finally you have money to make money. So you have to create value to create money, and then money creates more value. It's kind of it's something like water is wet and gravity sucks, right? There ain't no way around this universal law. The second biggest problem, if not the number 1 problem, because as I explain how to make money, one of the only ways, if you don't have money, is to find other people to join you in your calls, right? Whether it's Bitcoin X4 or any other program online or any other affiliate network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it, it's bringing together a network and then having referral commissions so you can then earn more money and build teams. And we solve that by providing you, right, the team and the system that actually goes out and finds the people for you initially, and you make money. So we're solving the first problem in tandem with the second problem all together, all at one time. And then ideally, we then teach you and share with you how to share, because that's all really recruiting is just sharing a really awesome opportunity and get out of your own way. Let the program sell itself. And that's what the Wix team sales page does, is to help you share, which automatically brings the people in, which then teaches you the skills of ultimately networking and building relationships, which is the key to recruiting and sponsoring other people. And then you're finally, in the same time, you're making money because we're giving you paid members, and you're cycling without really bringing anybody in. Most of the people that are cycling haven't really sponsored anybody. So I'll get to some of the biggest questions towards the end, because that's the way I designed it, because it really started 12, 15, 20 years ago. So frustrated. It's like, why, it was so hard for me not only to get money online and make money in network marketing, MLM, whatever it may be, because there wasn't even an online 20 years ago, but we used the phone and the 3-way fax on demand. You remember those days. But ultimately, and got to a point about 15 years ago, I said, you know what? Why can't I create something to help people recruit? So I started the co-op team build systems, where people would come in and they would all, send in some money. We would use that money to go out and co-op and bring traffic in. And so I was helping everybody recruit, solving problem 2, which then solved problem 1, which solved the 2 biggest problems online. And that's when I had the breakthrough. And that was 10 or 12 years ago. I've been making 6 figures ever since. And all I do now is just try to help as many people solve these 2 biggest problems in the simplest, fastest way possible. What makes it unique, right? Because right now, I've been only talking for 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. There's 3 launches, right? The Bitcoin Matrix launches on Facebook right now. And they're all, turned 0.002 into 25 Bitcoin, become a millionaire. You know how all those work. And really, what we do is we solve the 3 biggest problems, and there's probably a few more that I probably will talk about that I haven't even listed here. But the problem number 1, all matrices fail eventually. They fail because they just break down. They get too wide. There's not enough people coming in. All the bad things. But they're structured actually in a really powerful way to be able to leverage the power of people and people coming in and money coming in, so the payouts can disperse both up and down the matrix, meaning sharing in the commissions, sharing in the values, sharing in the money. But the problem, the way it's structured, is all the people on the bottom don't get paid and all the people at the top get paid, so that all the people on the bottom bail and all the people on the top stop making money. So it unravels or collapses. So we solved that problem, and I'll explain why. In the simplistic terms, I don't ever make it get wide because of the 2x2s and the board system. The way it works is that we're constantly compressing and refreshing, so we never have a too wide problem. And I'll explain that. There's an imbalance for maximum leverage. Imbalance means there's runaway legs in matrices. If you can visualize, and I'll show a picture of that. It's very lopsided. If you look at a matrix, even a matrix that lasts a month, which not many do, and we'll last a lot longer than a month at this rate. We could go until the foreseeable future. All it is a tweaking of how it's, how I do the compression, that I can regulate cash flow, so we can all make a consistent income for a very, very, very long time. And then there's an improper follow me function in most matrices, meaning that and I'll talk about it with a picture, it's probably easier to understand. Finally, down below, I just kind of put this both on this slide and the next slide, is that we have our 30-day buyback assurance. It's not necessarily a money-back guarantee. It's not like you're buying a toaster. I say that analogy quite a bit. I need to find something else, or TV. It's a private club, private group. You're invited in, and we're all friends. We're all family. And if something happens after 30 days, you don't make money, I ping you, you ping me, and I say, well, you got one more person that we're either going to get for you, you can cycle and triple your money, or I can send your money back. So what it really means is whatever money you put in, 30 days later, you haven't made money, I just want to take my money out and go do something else, boom, send it right back to you. Zero risk. And that's driving most of the conversions through the roof. Because there's only very few things that make people not want to join a program. Not really understanding it can't get much simpler than our program. Number two is not really having enough money. It's only $25 to get started. Number three, losing your money. We take care of that. Number four, not really be able to recruit. Well, you really don't have to recruit because we get people for you and you make money without recruiting. Number five, not really online that much. That's kind of a problem, but most people are online enough in the cell phone age to make it work. So we basically, every single thing that a person looks at it for a program, we have the attributes that they're looking for. And that's why conversions are going through the roof. That's how we went from 0 to 550 members in 2 weeks. We're probably the fastest growing company on Facebook or any Bitcoin program, other than there's a few others. And I don't want to boast or be too bold, but the growth is very viral. And I was saying earlier before this started, my goals for the company when I started 2.5 weeks ago, and I'll cover all that as well, was to get to, at the end of November, I wanted to get to 500 members. And guess what? I'm at over 500 members within 2 weeks. It isn't even November yet. So at the end of November, my goals have kind of gotten a little bigger, right? So at the end of November, I want to see maybe 1,000 members, and then we'll start to put in all the a little bit more team will come in and help, and we'll get there. Because right now I'm pretty much doing everything myself. And I'm managing it, believe it or not. So, and then at the end of December, as we roll into Christmas, after we're over 1,000, then it's just managing cash flow, managing cycles, managing boards, and everyone makes sure that everyone's consistently paid. Because after you get to a certain point, you reach momentum. There's a curve in every company, right? There's a startup. There's work your butt off, and all of a sudden you finally hit to a certain point. It's kind of like a snowball. Right? You start at the top of the hill with a snowball and you start rolling that snowball. You get down to the bottom. A snowball is like the unified Bitcoin world. It gets very, very big. It just keeps building on itself. Here's a quick picture, and then I'll pop out of this PowerPoint to death. It reminds me of stories I always tell. This is that, in my 16 years in corporate world, we go to these big conferences or, in sales meetings, and we would get PowerPoint to death. That's the big joke, right? I don't want to PowerPoint you to death, but these are picture paints 1,000 words. Here's why all matrices fail. is that they get too wide too fast. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? You can see that you're on the bottom, and if this thing, the thing is this person needs those people to cycle, and in fact, this person needs not only these people, but each of these people needs 6. So you're almost at anywhere from 6 to 18 people pushing from the bottom up to get this person to cycle, and then before you know it, you have 1,000 people down here that all need 6. That's 6,000, and 6,000 needs 6. That's 36,000, and boom, it implodes. Here's the runaway leg problem. You're over here, right? And there's 32,000 people in the company, and you have one person under you, and it's supposed to be spillover. Where's all the people? They're over here, and it happens all the time. If you really look at a matrix, if it lasts long term, there's like a little diamond that starts to form in the middle of the matrix. And then if you're not in that diamond, you're not making money. You're most likely outside the diamond because of all the runaway legs. Follow me compression. Most matrices do not follow this. Most matrices is, once you cycle, you get a new position. But what happens is see my mouse going around in circles? This new position, once it cycles, like there's program I worked 2x3 or 2x2, and I started out with a couple $100. I did a tri-pack where I bought 3 positions. Not really recommended for our program because you're diminishing your profit to like almost 0. But when you get new positions, sometimes you get awarded positions or you buy new positions. I'll put them here because when it splits, you actually can get into multiple boards and multiple incomes. But I digress. But most programs, what happens is after you cycle here and earn, you don't really get a new position under your team. You just get that one reset, it's called. And in order for that to cycle again, you have to have 2 times the amount of people. And now, when I did this one program recently, a month or 2 ago, I started out with a couple $100, made 14 grand, and my position reset. But I had about 400 or 500 people that I brought in below me. Of course, most of the people didn't make anything. I made all the money. That's why I started this company as well. I'm so tired of everyone not making money but me. I'm trying to make everyone money, because when you make money, I make money. But the whole point is, when I got reset, I would not only need 500 more, I'd need 3 times that. I would need 1,500 people to get paid the same 14,000. So my workload now tripled. That's a big flaw, and that's what most matrices fail. Here's some of the things we get when I'll just go. I only have another couple slides, and I'll crack out. I may crack out here soon because I want to have some FaceTime with you guys, so you don't fall asleep or So here's the chat. I announced the cycling here. Here's Karen that cycled, and Bruce. This is a couple weeks old. This happens every day. And then when people come in and join the program, they start seeing this, and they're like, wow, how soon before I cycle? We'll cover that. Here's the Facebook group that I post all the Zoom meetings and trainings, and you keep up to date. And then everyone gets their own custom replicated team site, which means that you get your own site and you get to share it with people when they fill out the form. You get the lead, it contacts you on Facebook, and then we try to keep all your personals on your boards so you all can work together. And then how to get started. I mentioned it briefly earlier, but really it's so simple. You just pick what board you want to start on, what you can afford, and send the Bitcoin to the group wallet address, and you're in. Done. Of course, there's a couple, 2 or 3 steps that's taken a little bit of time, maybe 12 to 24 hours, not to plug you in. What's happening is, as soon as you pay, you ping your sponsor, they ping me. As soon as I see some ping on my messenger with a wallet address and a payment, you're in. But you may have to wait a little bit to get your link to your board to see where you're at on your own little 2x2. Make sense? And you may have to wait 8 to 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours, somewhere in that zone. We're getting more help to get your replicated team page. When I first started this company, everyone got their board link and everyone got their Wix within an hour, because I was personally doing it myself, because I only had 10 members. Then I had 50 members. Then I had 100 members. When I got to be about 300 members, I hired and helped and pinged my good buddy Will Henderson, who's doing a bang-up job. He's actually helping me build the Wix, and now I'm recruiting a couple, 2 or 3 more. In fact, some team leaders that bringing in quite a few people I have a 6-minute video I send them. It shows you how to create your own team replicated page, and within 4 minutes you can create pages on the fly. Okay, let me stop my share because I haven't lost anybody yet. You guys are all hopefully still listening. The World Series is on right now. I have it taping. Thank God for the 22nd century. It's no longer the 21st century. It's the 22nd century. So if I miss anything, like the last game, we went to the 10th inning with 15 home runs and I don't know how many lead changes. So that's taping. Then it's Halloween. I haven't had a knock on the door since, and it's now dark, so that's okay. It is fun though to see the kids come to the door with all their different costumes and little cute costumes that they have. It's just adorable. I remember when I have 3 kids and they're all in college. I think I mentioned that. One's actually in Paris finishing her college, and they don't celebrate Halloween in Paris. They just celebrate wine and cheese and the Eiffel Tower. No shade. And then my son is with me, and we have a big festival downtown where I live, and the last few years he's been going to this. He built this really cool Halloween costume where he had like stilts, and he had this black thing draped over him, and he would walk, and he would look literally like some big Star Wars creature, and he would have a hood over his head and a creepy mask. And he'd walk downtown. There's thousands of people, and they're all I'm taking pictures and selfies with me. I just go and I have a couple drinks and I people watch. Okay, let me go over the 4 big questions so I can and then give you some updates. Let me see here. Okay, not a bad voice. Yeah, when I sang that song, every once in a while I'll start singing and rapping. I'm gonna do a Bitcoin rap now. Someone already tried that. It's not good. You don't want to see that. Electroneum. Yeah. So Electroneum is a ICO that's going hot, going live tomorrow. What it's going to do is I don't know. I digress sometimes. Someone just asked in the Electroneum is an ICO, a coin that's going live tomorrow. A lot of folks got in at 1 cent, and so tomorrow we all gonna, once you log into your Electroneum back office, I'll try to be announcing some of these ICOs coming up. There's a few coming up where ICOs are cryptocurrency coins created on the Ethereum platform that is on the blockchain so people can transact. In fact, there was this one that went out. There's Block TV. It's pretty cool. It's in the digital entertainment industry, Block TV, ICO. There's one for the, how they're trying to legalize marijuana in the U.S. And so there's actually an ICO for that industry. So when all the dealers are, so I don't go there and do that, but I just was bringing that up. But Electroneum is really cool because it runs on your cell phone. It's a digital token coin that is going to be in electronic gaming and cell phones. So when the electronic coin goes live, you can download the wallet on your phone, and then as you acquire your coins, so as soon as it launches, whatever coins you have, I have about 60, 70,000 coins. It was only 1 cent, so that's like $600-700 bucks. And then as you referred other people to it, you got more coins. I know people that have 500 to 1 million coins. They put them in your wallet, and you have them. And then what happens is there's applications and games that the electronic and token that can be used to purchase into games and purchase advertising things. So it has to have some type of spending or commerce around it. Then the coin starts to go from 1 cent to 5 cent to 10 cent. Or like Ripple, I know buddies that became millionaires with Ripple. It's a token now. It's on the exchange. And you can look at all the top 50 to 100 exchanges. You go to coinmarket.org, coinmarket.org. I think someone put that there. No, there was a CoinDesk reference. So you can look at all the tokens. And I talk about BitConnect quite a bit. BitConnect is like the top 12 token on the planet right now. And, I bought BitConnect at 50 bucks. It's like 220 right now. But Electroneum is 1 cent. Once it goes live tomorrow, it's going to take about 30 days, and it'll be listed on the exchange where people can start buying it. So more volume can drive. That'll also drive the price up. So, $500-600 bucks to buy, 50,000 coins, and at the end of November it may be 5 cents. So from 1 cent, you 5x your money. So if I put in 500, 500 times 5, 2,500, not bad, right? But then at the end of December or into January, that coin could be $1. So I now have 100 times my money. So my 500 times 100 You know how you do the simple math when there's zeros? You just put 5 times 1 and 4 zeros. That's $50,000. So there could be some millionaires created just on that one coin, and there's hundreds of them launching. 90% of them are bogus. And what drives an ICO and the popularity of a token is it has to be used as commerce. It has to be exchanged, right? And that's why Bitcoin went up so much, because it's actually being used to exchange for value, products and services. It's not some made-up coin like OneCoin or TBC, the billion coin, toilet bowl coin, right? They can't even sell that stuff fast enough. In OneCoin, there's people already in prison. So I won't even go there. Okay. The Chicago Board of Exchange, someone just did an article. Yeah, so the Van Winklevoss twins tried to start an exchange back in July, and they got shut down by the SEC. But there's Ledger X. See, the X's are cool, man. I'm telling you. Bitcoin X4 and Ledger X. You can do a search right now. It's out on this exchange. It's futures, and you can buy into Bitcoin. That's what's driving some of the price up, because it's now becoming more and more on the traders. Like when Forex people are trading and they're doing futures. Futures is just trying to buy now and project in the future what, and make money. And then the other thing is, so they tried to Van Winklevoss, the guys that have the Gemini wallet, the one that I use for our group wallet. I use Gemini, Gemini.com, super cool wallet. They actually were on Amazon Web Services. All their servers. They pulled it off, and they have their own server farm now. So it's super quick. They do have scheduled maintenance once in a while. In fact, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, I was sending a lot of payouts, and then I sent the payout, and it was a red thing saying, warning that we have to shut down for a couple hours because the miners are having so much problems trying to mine coins. That's kind of why the fork is happening as well, helping the miners. And what's happening is Bitcoin gets sent in data blocks. So it's like a data block, and it gets sent over the blockchain. And in the data blocks, your payment to Bitcoin X4 is inside that data block. So when I send you and then when you get payouts, I send you a link. And when you ever see a hash, you see, someone sent someone, $100,000 along with your $20, and you see like these transactions stacked on the ledger and the blockchain. But what they do is they compile a certain amount of data, and it's almost like filling up a shopping cart. And then they push the shopping cart down the blockchain, right? And they fill up the next shopping cart. Well, your transaction is in that shopping cart. The problem is the shopping carts are too tiny now. They're trying to shove too many groceries in the shopping cart. So when they hard fork, they say, first of all, buy less groceries, or make that shopping cart a little bigger so we can push it down and get the data moving. All right. Let me go cover the top 4 questions. I'll let you guys go on Halloween night here, for God's sakes. Started Friday. Okay, now I'll get to if there's any questions. Vincent Dunn started with 25 2 weeks ago, earned 100, put 50 back in, and Vincent he brought in 12 people. I just assigned his 5 free positions. He has 8 to 10 boards right now. He has a potential pending a couple $1,000s coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks as payouts roll out. He's probably should take 1,000, pay some bills, buy some Christmas presents early, put the other 1,000 into the program so that can turn into 3,000. And that's how we all should think. Is that we don't want to get too it's mine, not yours. We don't want to hoard money. Money loves to be shared and given and circulate. Money loves circulation. Money loves speed and momentum. Bitcoin X4 and the Unified Bitcoin team, the network that we build is just a payment network, and it streamlines payments between members, and it loves to move. It doesn't love to sit. And it doesn't, because you can't make money with money if it's just sitting there, right? There's a parable out there, a story of, the 3 sons. One buried the money in his backyard. The other son did, and you can read up on it. But at the end of the day, you need to have money out working. You need to have your money working for you. And you do have to have some risk. I don't know if you've ever invested in like 401k or retirement or mutual funds. What's the big thing that's been happening for many, many years now? I'll think of it. But, as you look at your risk tolerances, you want short-term, CDs, bonds. Then there's midterm, mid-risk, where you have growth stock or income stocks, and then you have high risk. You have, certain industries that are going to pop. So you want to blend your portfolio. That's what we do here as well. We blend a Bitcoin portfolio for short, midterm, and long-term wealth. Short-term to raise cash is the Bitcoin X4 system. And your mid and long-term programs are one program I announced today. It's pretty slick. I'm joining up with two major leaders. It's a program that will be able to accumulate and build residual income around gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Those are the three biggest things that you need to earn. You need to stockpile, because the U.S. dollar and all fiat currencies could start to dwindle in value, and they're always dwindling in value. Bitcoin and gold and silver go up in value. Big difference, right? You need assets that go up in value. It's almost like buying a house, right? And in the days, nowadays you buy a house, sometimes it just kind of stays, depending upon what neighborhood you're in, location. But there's ways to buy a house for $400,000, and 10 years from now, it's worth $600,000. That's called a appreciating asset. Well, when you buy a Bitcoin at $6,000, $6,300 today, it could be worth $20,000 in 2 years. That's a serious appreciating asset, right? Gold is about $1,200 an ounce. It's been $1,200 an ounce for a few years, but it's a solid asset. But it may go up a little bit in value. Silver is about $438, $40 an ounce. Could go to $100 an ounce. Robert Kiyosaki, Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, loves silver. So that's one program that's for the long term. What it's going to do is build up a residual income. Residual income is where it's at, folks. This is why Bitcoin X4, you want to get to a point where you're cycling every other day if you're doing it right, or once a week. And soon we'll be opening up the 200, 400, 800 boards. So when you cycle on a 400, 800 board, you're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in Bitcoin. And you can wait 30 days to cycle, because that's basically cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Every 30 days you have $4 or $5 grand coming in. And if I have enough time, because it's always cash flow, because if I just paid out everybody, the cash would go down, down to zero. The way it's designed is that it's money coming in, money going out, but I can stay very healthy. And that's why by waiting 30 days, it allows me to pay out larger chunks. Sometimes I get a little bit too deep for some people, because I try to keep it simple, but I keep it super real, and I'm super upfront. And so if you ever have any questions, you ping me. But this ain't my first rodeo, and this is close as I've ever gotten to the Holy Grail. It's like almost the utopia, because it compiles the power of people, right, and Bitcoin, and a network, and it combines the power of social networks. Facebook. 5 billion people on Facebook. There ain't 5 billion people anywhere. There's 2 billion people on Amazon shopping. There's 6 billion people on the planet Earth. There's 5 billion people. I don't know, maybe it's like 3 billion. Maybe it's 2 billion. Doesn't matter. There's more people on Facebook than any other site in the entire planet. And it still shocks me, some of my people that are doing pretty good, they're inviting some people, they don't use Facebook. It's like, man, now this is something I need to learn, which I don't have no interest in, because I don't know how you're building. They're building their business through three-way calling, right, and then email lists. No thanks. So it combines the biggest network on the earth, the biggest, hottest currency on earth, with the most proven industries, which is networking and MLM and affiliate marketing. The only reason why people think that all that is a scam is because every other government and country that don't want the people to make money. They want people to work for them so they can make the money, right? You know how working for the man? They want everyone not so smart, is what it comes down to. And one of the most powerful ways for product distribution and income distribution between people is a network marketing MLM affiliate programs. And all we do with X4 is put together a network with a simple 2x2 to aggregate people and aggregate and pay out payments. So it's a culmination of everything, not to mention 30 years of experience of frustration. And I've basically threw out all the stuff that don't work, and I've just brought everything that does. All right, so let me answer the top 4 questions. I'll scroll down. Looks like most of these are just testimonies, which is probably the most powerful thing, right? It's like, who is this guy? Why would you want to believe me? One guy asked me today, can I see your blockchain wallet? And first of all, I don't even use blockchain. Second of all, I think I told him our website has a huge amount of testimonies. If you actually are on Facebook at all, we went viral. So everywhere you look there's testimonies. So I'm not a big, open the kimono and Why do I need to prove myself to that one dude, right? When I got 600 people that are all happy making money. Come back, dude, when you don't need to have, the doubting Thomas analogy, right? Where he had to actually stick his hand on the side of, Christ. That's how doubting Thomas came to be. He says, man, you are so doubtful. Here I am, man. 3 years, three days later. It's like, no, you can't be. I'm not saying, stick your hand in me, So I don't need to prove. All the proof is here in the pudding. And it's proved by you. So the point of all that is soon, I've been trying to do it the last couple of days. And I did this earlier, because when you go to our website, bitcoinx4.com, and you scroll down and you see the Facebook and all the testimonies, and that's when we first started. That was our first week of results. And I knew that I had something. But if I do that post right now, and I've been thinking about it the last few days, I would have, theoretically 500, if not 1,000 comments in this one post. You talk about engagement and viral. And then keyword it, and then we could share that post. But I need to update the site. So see, the thing is with this, it's unlimited. Once you've built it and it's working, there is no end to it if you're smart and you're not greedy. And I'm watching you too. Because the one thing that screws up everything in life is the big G, greed. Everybody wants all the Bitcoin themselves, right? I don't want to share. No, you have to share. That's the key to life, is sharing. All right, let me see if there's, okay, so top 4 questions. How long has it been around? Who is this guy? I've covered in the presentation. I won't go much longer. And this is recorded, so everyone can see me talk like a crazy man. So I went through my background, and then what I'm saying now, hopefully, is we get over the hump of how old the company is, because what I tell here is that in life, in programs, in making money, 4 big things, right? There's timing, there's opportunity, and there's that positioning into a program or a system or a structure so money can be created with leverage. That's along number 3. And number 4 is taking massive action. So 4 things. So in terms of timing, you can have the greatest timing, the greatest opportunity, and you can get into the great one of the, where you can have those 2 and then still fail. Or you can have the 2 and take action and fail. But that third little component is the Bitcoin X4 system, which is the unified Bitcoin team system as well, which also has multiple streams of income with proven companies like USI Tech, BitConnect, Yoda.biz, Mint Builder, which is the gold, silver, Bitcoin one I just mentioned. Had 100 people join me today, which is great. What I'm going to start doing is, out of the 100 people, I will start a kind of a rotator, and I'll start sending those links out to people. So, I already have my initial structure built. And so I begin to team build that. But see, when you put all the number 3, which is the program, which it's not just one program. It's multiple streams of income. It's one team, one system, multiple streams. The Bitcoin X4 plays in this whole family because you have to structure it to where you have short-term, mid-term, and long-term income vehicles, which are the programs. But this is a Bitcoin X4 presentation, so I ain't going to be going over the other ones. How I roll with the other ones is when you finally start making money, and it's starting to happen. It's a beautiful thing. People are like, "Hey, Robert, thanks for the $300," and or the $300, $400 or something. You mentioned USI. I'm not in that yet. I have a few buddies in it. I'll go ahead and join. And then what's happening is I will actually start to send, if you're in my USI team, I send your USI team to the person that wants to join. I give away personals. If you want to join BitConnect, I may want to build up a little bit more where you join me direct, but then once you join, someone else wants to join I send your BitConnect to them. Yoda.biz, I have about 20. I just started talking about Yoda. Yoda is 4 years old. It's out of China. It pays 1.8% a day on your Bitcoin. You put in, $100, you're making like $2 a day or something, long term. And you can compound. And it's been paying for 4 friggin', sorry for my French, friggin' is actually, G-rated, 4 years. There ain't no program online been paying 4 years. USI Tech is 8 years old, but they were trading Forex for 7 years. They just got into Bitcoin. They just had their big conference in Italy, I think, or something, and they are starting to announce some more things with what they're doing. They just bought $70 million Bitcoin mining farm. They can mine Ethereum, Zcash, Merino, and all the hot currencies. So they can pay 1% a day probably for my life. BitConnect is a loaning model where they have their own token. It's going through the roof. I think the only thing that BitConnect, the one thing they're missing is that you can actually spend BitConnect somewhere, but you can exchange Bitcoin for Bitcoin instantly. It's a huge exchange. And then Yoda is a long-term. So, all right, enough on that. So how long has BitX4 been around? A couple, 2 or 3 weeks. Started with just myself and frustration. And out of necessity comes invention. I said, there's got to be a way. And I've been dancing around it for quite a while. I've been watching my happy hours for like the last year. And I've been using these matrices that are out online, right? All these 2x3, 2x2, 1x2, 2x3, 3x8, and building teams around it. And I got so sick and tired of them either not working, the admin's retarded, back office is broke, you can't move people, you don't get paid in time, it's not automated. Everyone doesn't make money but the people at the top. So I threw all that out and created my own. So the point of all this is it's 2.5 weeks old. It started from zero. Now it's 500, 550 members in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks. It'll be at 1,000. So you want to be in now. So when we grow to 1,000, see, this is something for timing and positioning with the right program. There is something to be said to getting in at the right time and being in position, right? It's like buying Bitcoin 5 years ago. Question 2. How long does it take to cycle? Well, we have a 30-day buyback, so you do have 30 days. I have that buffer. But market reality is saying there's enough influx of people coming in and Bitcoin is flowing and it really depends upon what positions you are in the company. If you're in a position where there's a lot of activity, you'll cycle faster. So it's 1 to 2 weeks. Not bad, right? So if you put in 25, you make 100. And out of the 100, automatically you have a spot back on the 25 board. So you have 75 as your profit. So it's really paying you 3x, but it's 4x because the 4x, the other 25 goes into buy, so you can earn again. This already begins to keep it healthy in terms of money coming back into the company. It's not just the company sending money out and not enough money coming in. If you put in 50, you make 200. 50 goes in and buys you a spot in the 50, so another couple weeks you'll make another couple hundred, and then really 150. Out of the 150 is paid out. So if you come in for 100, you get paid 400. 100 goes into the $100 board to pay you again. You get paid out 300. Soon, next week and into November, we're going to roll out the 200, 400, $800 board soon. And once again, timing and positioning. If you have enough money and you may want to get a spot, because those that will get into the 200, 400, 800 boards a little earlier will be rewarded more so because you may cycle a 200, 400, 800 board within a week. And then come into December, it may take 2 weeks. And then come into January, it may take 3 weeks. And then in February, it may take 4 weeks. So, but if you're cycling on an 800 board every 30 days, you're making $3,200. 3,200 is some good Bitcoin. Right? Out of that, 800 goes back in, so you can make another 32, and so you take the 24 delta. So let me see if my math is right. Yeah. So there's still a $1,600 board to boot. So come January, February, when you're and Robert sends you $3,000 of Bitcoin, and he's shaking like a leaf, because even when I send 300, I'm nervous, right? But Gemini is really quick. I 2FA, I put my little FA in, I check, I double check, I triple check, I look at your address, I look at it, and I send. And you know what? There ain't nothing more gratifying than sending out thousands of dollars a day to Bitcoin to my members. Let me tell you, it's like Santa Claus year round, right? But when I'm getting ready to send you $3,000, I'm going to send you $100, and you say, okay, Robert, I got it. And then boom, then I send 2,900. That makes sense? I don't want to send $3,000 to some terrorist, right? Okay. Question 3. Do I have to recruit to earn? No, you don't. But we really want people to learn how to share and invite. Because I tell this story, and I tell it ad infinitum. All my members probably memorize it because it's actually another universal law. And it's a truism that started me to create this whole company. 80 to 90% of the people on the planet don't like to sell and market. And the only way you make money online and in our business is to sell and market. Or have a lot of money. So there's this big divide, right? It's like the Grand Canyon, or it's just this big void in the middle. So Bitcoin X4 fills that void. What it does is it allows people that don't really like to sell and market to join a company, and we go out and sell and market for you with your help of liking and juicing and commenting and sharing a little bit. We come in and we bring the people in so you can share and get paid out without really, because at the end of the day, you don't have to sponsor to qualify. Some companies you have to go out and you have to sponsor to even get paid, like that one bogus program, Platinum something or other. You had to go personally sponsor to. They weren't going to pay you out. That's BS. So here, you get paid out from the team spilled over, filling your board up for you, you get paid out. Now, what's happening though, and I designed it that way for a reason, most matrices programs out there, you earn from spillover, you don't have to sponsor. So it's not like that's that unique. But what happens is when you get paid out and you haven't sponsored anybody, you start getting busy. You're like, whoa, this is cool. You mean if I go invite other people, I'm going to make more money? I'm going to go get busy. And I've never seen so many people that have really never even sponsored anyone. People I've been working with for like a year or two. I love them. They're part of my team. They come in. They join me early in the hot programs. They make a bunch of money. They don't even sponsor anybody. But even those folks are sponsoring people now because it's just so easy. So it's like, have you seen this thing? They share the Wix page, done. So you don't really have to sponsor to earn, but we really encourage you to be a team member, and really it's so easy to like, comment, share, and invite. Fourth question. What is the fourth question? What else is there? See, there's and then I remember someone, Linda, you reminded me to remind me to say something tonight, and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to hunt for your reminder, and I'll think of the fourth thing. How long does it cycle? How long has it been around? How long is the cycle? Do I have to recruit to sponsor or to earn? No, you don't. And there's the fourth thing I'm not remembering. Someone's going to remind me because you've seen this presentation already like 10 times. But I'll think of it. If not, those are the three biggies that you get. I think the other big question is the whole trust that comes back from how long has it been around, the owner, the testimonies, the results. Results speak for themselves, right? Even though, once again, keeping it real, there's quite a few companies that send out millions and millions and millions of Bitcoin payments to people and they disappeared. I don't plan to disappear, because this is how I'm going to make my living the rest of my life. 52, I plan to live to be, I don't even want to spook myself. I'm already written in the book when my time is. But until I can get up in the morning and breathe and alive, I'm going to be online helping people make money. So I'm not about, come join me, and then, oh, we got hacked, all your money's gone. No. I saw the link, gold, silver program, I registered. Yeah, Vincent, you want to be in that one because there's two huge leaders that both Adam and Peter did gold and silver, and Adam is one of my main dudes in Bitcoin. He got me started, twisted my arm in BitConnect 5 months ago. So glad that I did. And then I think Alex, my other millionaire friend, he's in the Atlantic Questa group. He's made $1 million in Atlantic. I never really joined Atlantic. Some people are in that 6% a week. It's okay. I think maybe it's kind of cresting and it's going down a little bit, but they're just hundreds of millions of dollars and just buying a bunch of real estate and doing some crypto trading. But he pinged me about Yoda. He said, Robert, you need to see this. So him and Lori, he works with. So I got into Yoda. I got quite a few people going in Yoda. And Yoda's, that 4-year-old company that's paying like clockwork. And then I've been in USI Tech for 6-8 months. Never really worked it that much. Kick myself every day. I should have 1,000 packs already. I have a fair amount of packs, but there's guys, that have, the $500 or $1,000 packs in USI, and they're making 500,000, 2,000, 3,000 a day in Bitcoin. And at that point, I get back to the story of, when you have all the money you need and you have money coming in, all of a sudden your whole life changes perspective. You either turn into a super grateful, helpful person, or you become a real bitter, paranoid person, right? There's always that kind of divide that happens. And you can notice on, in Hollywood or, rich people, some of them go off the deep end, and some people are just philanthropists and they just give their money away, and they're beautiful people. They are so grateful for everything they've ever got. But the one thing with money, is that when you finally get it, because all we do, right, is we quest for that money. But what you really need to do, now this is a good takeaway for tonight to think about, is what is it you're going to do with your money? What are you really questing for? Because money is just a vehicle to keep your bills paid. But what's most important is to really think about it. Start writing stuff down. Imagine you already, and this is another key to success in life in general, is imagine you already got what you want, and it'll start to come to you. The universe loves, what's the word? Either confidence or stated, I am rich or I am healthy. And so the universe loves that. They love that energy of I am positive. So you think about, okay, if I already had $1 million in the bank, what are some of the things I would do with that money in my life? First, and then secondly, start doing some of that stuff, because if one of the first things you say is relax more, so try to relax more. Help my family out, buy a house, take a vacation, keep helping, before you know it, your list gets pretty, then you start to think, you start shifting perspective. It's not about you anymore, right? It becomes, what can I do now to help? I get so emotional. It's so funny. And I'm, so hang with me. Because that's the essence of life, man. Once you're there, it's like, and then fair warning, because once you get that point, when you're free, financially free, and you don't have to worry about the PG&E bill or the energy bill or paying your rent anymore. You start to either get complacent or bitter, or you don't want any of that. You want to be very positive and helping. Okay. So let me go to Facebook. Okay, so Linda, I'm looking for your thing. There was something about, let me give you some updates, because I'm running, I go on and on. I got to get ready to go. It's 7:15, and I'm getting ready to go have a little bite to eat, a couple cocktails. The proof is in the testimony. Yes, indeed. So, okay, it's Tuesday night's Halloween. Happy Halloween if I haven't said it to anybody who came on late. Trick or treat. This is actually the treat. There ain't no trick. And then come tomorrow, I'm taking off. I'm going to I told all of you, I think it was on maybe Saturday, that my wife's mom passed away. So we're doing some things this weekend, but I'm going to go to see my daughter on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She plays volleyball for Division I NCAA team, so she rocks. So on Sunday I go for like the funeral viewing. So tomorrow I'll be on my cell and my iPad, and then I'll get to the hotel. Wednesday I'll be at her mom's house, and her husband's there. But so we'll hang out there, and I'll probably get on their wireless, my laptop. So I'll do the boards, I'll do some payouts, but I'll be on my cell, but I'll be driving. It's a 2 or 3 hour drive. And then Thursday we're not going to have our Zoom, so I'll be announcing to people. So you have this to watch, because I'll record it, I'll get it out. And so when people say, whoa, well, what happened Thursday? No Zoom. No, watch this one, right? But there is a dynamic of being live, so I appreciate that. So on Saturday, I'll be watching volleyball, and also I'm at the hotel. I'll come on Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be at the hotel. So I'll be working boards, payouts, so the program won't just stop for 4 days, no. But I will be a little bit less available, and people are probably laughing, less available. Dude, I can't even get a hold of you for 24 hours at a time. And then comes Sunday, we'll do that, and then I'll come back on Monday, then boom. Then it's really going to start to roll, because we're heading into the holidays, and I want to have a lot of people have a very good holiday season with a lot of money and a big turkey and a big Christmas tree and a lot of presents and a lot of Bitcoin. That's my number one goal. The more people that can make money, the better that we're all going to be. So when I come back on Monday next week, then, of course, we'll have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We'll have our Zooms lined up, and then we're going to start talking about the 200, 400, 800 rollouts. We have our contest or our promotional thing, which will continue on. Starting tomorrow, you need 3 paid members to get 1 paid member free spot given. If you get 3 people that come in, they have to be 3 different people with 3 different wallets. Now, I have some people that are paying in PIFing, pay it forward, which is cool. Paying in their cousin, their sister, their grandma, right? Which is all good because I want to help families even make money, not just individuals. Well, you can't PIF people in and then earn free spots because basically you're just getting, 3 for 1 or 2 for 1 special. It's designed for you to go find a warm body. So 3 new warm bodies with 3 different fresh wallets that come into our program that have their own Wix page that want to go out and invite, so we can build up the network higher. That's who I'm rewarding, right? If you want to go PIF people, you can do it all day long. And I would recommend it because once you start making money, you go find some of your friends that haven't made money ever online, which is about 80%, unfortunately. Hey, you got to come over. And by the way, I'll go ahead and I'll PIF you 25 spots. You can just get into this thing and start seeing how beautiful this thing is. And when you PIF some of these people in and they start seeing what's going on and all these people paying, they start coming up. Now, some people literally don't even have $25 to their name. And I've been helping people here and there that flat out, man, I've been flat out and, living on bananas and no money. And so that didn't last long because I've been gifted with the ability to make things happen. And you can make things happen when things are bad. And this is another thing I always try to explain to people is that you got to have bad to know good. So some of the best lessons in life are all the crappy times in your life. All the crap that you went through and all the bad times, you think back, those are the most powerful learning experiences because there's no way to really truly enjoy a rich, full, happy life unless you have kind of been through the opposite, right? And there's nothing sweeter than working your booty off for something and then you get the reward. Because there's nothing better than when you sit down after a long day of hard work that you feel rewarded, right? It's, if you sit back and, vacations are cool, you should go enjoy yourself and not do anything. But there's sometimes you don't do anything all day and you sit down and you feel like, I didn't do anything today. I'm such a loser. No, I'm just kidding. But you know how there's such a difference. Okay. So that was the update. So I'm kind of a little bit, I'm going to be totally online. That's the thing with my business. And when people, it is what it is. People come in a week later, I see them I go to their Facebook profile, their messenger, and I'm working with them, trying to get them. And I go to them and what does it say? It says, logged in 12 hours ago, 14 hours ago, 22 days ago. I'm like, but some people disappear for a week. They come back and say, hey, Rob, what's up? With me, I don't really disappear because you really shouldn't disappear when you're online making money because this goes everywhere. And yeah, you don't want to sit at dinner, with your cell phone, some of those commercials where the husband and wife are texting each other at dinner, right? And they're sitting right across from each other. You don't want to go there. But you can check in once in a while and say hi to Robert, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You can't be saying I'm gone a week and I was at the barbecue and this and that and the other thing. Okay. The other update I wanted to tell people is the board links. I've got it down to where, and I've been working with Linda on some suggestions. Linda Knott is also, that was the announcement. So I have 3 group chats. I have 3 because you only have 250 people in a chat, and then you max it out. So you have to start a second chat. Well, we just maxed out the second chat. We have 3 chats. Now, there's a few things I want to announce about that. First of all, there's several people in each of those chats. They're kind of like they're my top members, but they're kind of policing the chat. Because the chat isn't about, where's Robert? I haven't seen him in 2 days. I haven't gotten anything, and there's no board. Where's my board link? Where's my Wix page? Where is this Robert guy? Why? And then, so yada, yada, yada. So I have people, but if it gets too bad, like too negative, too complaining, like every 5 minutes, the guy's posting like, why hasn't he messaged me? And 5 minutes later, I've been messaging, so they police it. They'll ping him. They'll say, hey, whoever. Robert's busy, man. So what do you need? I need my board. Okay, I'll message Robert. So we constant some escalation. We also wanted to keep out the haters and the whiners and the criers. And so you know what I'm saying. So they thrive on just putting people down, putting programs down. And it is unfortunately, I'm a big forgiver, and I love everyone. I give them a second chance. Sometimes I regret it, but it's often their upbringing and where they came from. And so what, some of the best times in my life is when I get someone that says, real hater, and then I turn them around and they become a really good team member, even though I'm working on myself, because I still always remember that. You always do remember some really bad things, but I always forgive, but I don't forget. Okay, so why the police cops are there is to make sure that we don't have that negativity. We don't want no negativity. Everyone should be positive. The only thing that's going to drive people crazy is waiting. So the other big thing that I encourage everyone to is to really be patient. And how to use your patience and use your waiting time is to just try to be proactive, right? And try to be positive and go out and share while you're waiting for your board link. If you don't have a referral link, that could also be a problem. Get with me, get with Will. There's other people that are going to be helping you get your referral link, and then you're out. So you're not just constantly pinging the group chat. If you really need something, come to me, and I'll get you in my queue. Okay, so let me scroll. We're almost getting down to the end here. Nothing there. Found out it was upgraded. Yeah, USI is funny. They've went the last 6 months. They've, technical difficulties, can't log in. So they've been a little bit, but they're pretty solid now, and they're a really good place to put your Bitcoin for. I just bought a couple packs last night. I go in, I have auto rebuy. So it's just like almost like a Bitcoin bank. I brought this up a couple nights ago. Bitcoin X4 is kind of like your Bitcoin bank. You put in 25, you make 100. That's pretty good interest. That's 300% interest. Some people say, how can you pay that? I pay it just from team leverage and momentum and money flowing. And you have to understand is that sometimes you don't question why water is wet. It's just wet. You don't question why gravity sucks. You fall down and hit your head, and then you know why. But at the end of the day, you don't want to get so technical, like, how does this work? Don't worry about it. It works. And why it won't work is when everyone will freeze up and they say, well, I don't know why this works. I'm not going to be reinvesting in, all that nonsense. You keep coming in, you keep sharing and inviting, you can go for a very, very long time. Longer, it'll last past when you're finally free. And because what's happening is it's a vehicle, X4, to raise funds to get into all these programs. So if something does happen, first of all, if something happens in 6 months where, we're having some issues, and I'm always watching these issues, and anything's fixable, we just pull back, and 90% of our members probably have already made money and they're already in profit. And we kind of start it all over again in a sense. Now that's a reset. Reset 6 months from now. We've only been 2 weeks. Let's just worry about making as much Bitcoin as possible. When I start seeing a potential reset, now this is an interesting story. Is that global currency right now, and the U.S. is $22 trillion in debt. There's companies going bankrupt. The U.S. dollar's dropping. And, everyone owes everyone so much money. And I've always suggested that there could be potentially some type of a global reset, because what happens is instead of owing that $22 trillion to China and Russia and all these other countries, what we do is we all say, okay, I know you owe me $22 trillion and I owe you $20 trillion. Let's just, zero out. Let's start all over. And then let it fall in terms of resources, products, and services. So this is pretty deep. But what it does is that it allows the money to flow without needing to pay debt. All the money now flows to is prosperity and products and services. So that won't happen probably in our lifetime, but that's one big solution. And the only reason it won't happen, because every country has their own power and greed, and they don't want to do that. But if they came together, the United Nations and the World Central Bank, there's going to be some things happening that will, because at the end of the day, money eventually, the fiat currencies, they lose their true value. And that's why Bitcoin is also so powerful. Okay, so Sandra. Yeah, questions like, is it a pyramid? Is this a Ponzi? Is it a scam? I mean, you want to just kind of just say, have a nice day to some of these people, unless they're family and you got to hang out with them. You say, just hang out. You either want to come make money with me or not. It's a proven method of crowdfunding, donations, member to member. They use a pay structure that's been proven through, the last 50 years, if not 100 years, if not an eternity. as an efficient way to keep money flowing. Just like all governments, all economies, all your company, here's your boss, right? And here's you. He's all the one making all the money. The CEO's salaries now, the average CEO salary in the United States is $1 million a year. The average salary of a U.S. employee is $28,000 a year. Kind of a little bit of a pyramid, right? So life is a pyramid. Get over it, and let's get down to make some money. If you just throw away all of the, because one of the big reasons why people ask that is they don't want to lose their money. Can't lose your money here. After 30 days, I send it back to you. All right, so okay, so now one last thing. I did mention the boards and the updates, and so if you do need a board update, I'm getting pretty. So here's what I'm doing. And here's the evolution, and I won't spend too much time. It's just like no one cares. All I want is my friggin' board update, so I can see where I'm at. But watch pot doesn't boil, right? So 90% of your boards, they don't even change for days on end, because you're not out sponsoring, but they will, because what happens is your board is in line, and all of a sudden you come up to line, and it hasn't really changed for a week, and then all of a sudden, pop, cycles instantly, because the momentum of the company just fills it instantly. When you get in the company, don't fill it instantly. It has to wait in line like a conveyor belt. And it's almost, how you ever watch it's bread gets made, or eggs or milk, all of a sudden the container, and then the milk gets poured in the container. It's all like it's like a manufacturing facility. Your little 2x2 boards moving down the assembly line, and all of a sudden, boom. And if you bring people in, you jump ahead, and then boom. But the whole point of that is to see your board. It's like seeing cake batter in a pan. It ain't a cake, with frosting with a candle on it yet. It's just cake batter. When you stare at a cake batter in an oven, you can stare at it for a long time before it starts to rise, right? So we got to get out of just looking at our matrices. We got to go out and fill our matrix by inviting. But here's the evolution. I use Google Drive. First of all, I didn't even know you could search to find out, because when I had 100 people, sure, I'll get you your board. I put your name in. I clicked on your board, and I sent it to your email. Well, what happened is Gmail and Google Drive, they don't like more than 100 emails going out, because what starts to happen is I start to put capture in. Those the squiggly letters. So it takes like 3 minutes for me to try to get it to your email. And then what happened was, after a few hours, I would go to my Gmail. All of a sudden, I see all these messages undelivered, undelivered, undelivered. I'm like, okay, so I'm sending board updates, and my people are not even getting them. So what am I going to do? All right, so in the last few days, I've been copying, screenshotting them, and sending them to your messenger, and they're looking at it going, can I get one that's all live and moving and stuff? This is all static. This ain't no fun. So what's happening now is there's another thing that I've learned with Google Drive. Up in the upper right of the board, there's a shareable link. So I click on that link, I copy it, I put it in your messenger. When you click on that link, it automatically opens up a browser, right? Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever you're on. Boom, there's your board in real time. And as soon as I update it, it updates. Now, the only risk in all this, first of all, it still takes time to search you out and get your shareable link and put it into Messenger. Some people have 10 boards. So it takes me 10 minutes to get your name, get your boards, and I'm putting it on a Word doc of all your Google board links, and then I copy and paste it into Messenger, and then you have them all to click. This is my life, 14 hours a day. Now, the risk there is, right, Facebook Messenger, when you start sending too many links to people, all of a sudden, if someone reports you or whatever, so what will happen is, and this is real quick and I'll end up, is when you click on it, it'll say, this link looks like a suspicious link. Do you want to go forward? Yeah, you do want to go forward. I'm not trying to steal your identity or your money. I'm trying to show you your board. So what happened, though, is what'll happen is some people were like, what is this? No one on my team going to say that, because you know what I'm sending you. But Facebook will start to filter it. They'll start saying, what is all this Google Drive links doing in Messenger? Why is this guy sending so many friggin' Google Drive links? What is he doing? He's got to be trying to steal something or doing something wrong. That's the only risk. Now, the last thing is I would post those shareable links based on name in a file, either on a Facebook group or in Drive, so you can see it. Now, I wouldn't have to do any of this if I had my own program with my own software, and you had your own back office, and I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd have like 10 hours free every day. I'd probably go play golf and take a walk. But I don't want to have my own program in software and automation because there's a whole nother list of problems. What I would have is a big support tickets of people, what's my password? I can't log in. I just sponsored somebody and I sponsored them in the wrong spot. Can you move them? I don't have any of that nonsense. This program runs on 3 things: your Bitcoin wallet, Facebook Messenger, and Google Drive. That's it. And Wix in your sales page. 4 things. That's it. And we make a bunch of money. All right, make sense? All right, I don't want to blow up my recorder. And then if I go to YouTube, it takes 3 days for it to upload. Then I get you the recording link out. And then you guys are sharing it. I'm getting some good views, which is important. There will be a list in chat. Yes, Linda Knott mentioned that in the chat there'll be a list of folks. And then she's also doing a lot of great things around administrative stuff where here's all the things you shouldn't be doing in chat. Here's the things you should be doing. I needed to do this for the last 2.5 weeks. But like as soon as you become a member, here's a link to a member site. And here's the things you need to be doing. First thing is to request your own Wix page. Here's the form. You send it. It goes right to Will or right to somebody who builds it for you. Second thing is, here's how you get your board link. You go through this process. We send your board link. And the third thing, here's how you get to the group in the chat. Here's how you juice and like and comment and share. And so it would just be one link when someone becomes a new member. It's called a new member site startup, whatever. What I've been doing is kind of, doing these Zooms and doing things on Messenger, but there should be a site or, and it could be in Facebook, so we can have a Facebook file. Go to the Facebook group, go to the file page, and there's a startup document. And there's 5 steps, right? For step 1, get your Wix page. Step 2, get your board link. Step 3, here's how you like and juice and comment. Here's how you find the Facebook group. Here's how you add people to the Facebook group chat. Here's how once you invite people, here's the group wallet, right? So like 5 or 6 things on something so it's centralized. So when new members come in, you just point them that way. That way you can go out and find 10 more people and make $100,000 in 2018, if not more in Bitcoin. That's the goal. I'm tired of playing around with 100 here, 100 here, 100 here. We're going to start talking 5 figures and 6 figures soon. Then we'll break it open. And then your eyes will open up. You go, oh, I see the light now, finally. You're out of the nonsense of struggling every single day. We already have 5. Okay, so, all right. Maybe a lot of people you think. Okay, so I think we're good. I really appreciate it. I want to see where we're at. We've been about 50, 60 people through tonight, which is about average, which is great on a Halloween night. Like I said, Thursday there's going to be no Zoom, but I will get this recording, and then so you start sharing this with people. You want to the marketers out there. You want to start, if you have a capture page system and an autoresponder and your Wix page, you want to start building a little funnel on your own, and your funnel and your capture page and your Wix page and your emails, you send people the emails. You can set up a series of emails. Hey, just checking in on Bitcoin X4, man, this company's rocking. And in the text of the swipe is the recordings. Go watch this Zoom. And then here's, ping me on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You can start building a huge team by being creative, because you've done all this before in all the other programs you've been in. So you get in like a simple capture page, you get an autoresponder. Now, this is just for people that are kind of they're past Internet 101, right? They're past Facebook 101. They understand a capture page. They understand autoresponders. Now, don't be pinging me and saying, Robert, what capture pages do you use? Do you have 10 emails pre-written for me so I can swipe it into my autoresponder? No, I don't. You start being more personal and saying, hey, this is so-and-so. This has been my experience with this program. Here's what I would really suggest is watch this Zoom. You'd have the Zoom recording link in your first swipe. Here's my Facebook profile. Come over to Facebook. Let's chat. And then here's obviously the link to the sales page, which is the Wix page. Fill out the form, and if you want to get started, then all we do is send you the wallet. So you begin to build a whole sales system. Now, I may eventually, over the next few weeks, have a sales system on top of just a Wix page where people can have a capture page with an autoresponder and all that fun stuff. And that will take our membership from 1,000 to 5,000 members. Then I have to really start to think about how I automate it is more so is having all those documents and the steps. Because all it is join, send your Bitcoin, get your page, get the group, share. Then it's just on Robert to update your boards and pay out. I'm still thinking it's going to be tough, to be perfectly honest with you, to find someone I can trust to update boards and send payouts. That day will not come very soon, so just let you know. So it's all me, and it's all good because I can handle it. It's a very, very, very good problem to have, because even if you cycle, sometimes you got to wait a day before I ping you and pay you out. But, oh, well, you have to wait 24 hours a day to make 300, 500,000 bucks, right? It's in the bank. All I have to do is send it to you. All right. Peace, guys. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a great Halloween night. I'm going to be around. I'll be on my cell 24/7. So even when I'm traveling and visiting, it's okay, because people say, "Oh, you should put your cell phone away when you." No, not me. I'm the guy on vacation in his lounge chairs with a Mai Tai on the poolside with my cell phone, because I love it. I love the connecting with people and helping people. This is the final thing. This is when you have a rich, successful life. It ain't just about having a mint julep on a patio by yourself. It's always really good to have some loved ones around, a family around. If you don't have loved ones in a family, but that's what we do when we build a network. This is our family. This is our loved ones. And hopefully you have all your other loved ones around you. But this is where, when you get on your vacation and you're in it, sitting down, then you can go, wow, this is one amazing life. If you don't have all that going on, you're going to be like, you're on vacation. Now, some vacations I've taken in the past, I just thought about Monday morning the whole time I was on vacation. You know, I'm short on quota. I have to sell more when I get back from vacation. I have this big bill coming up. We don't want any of that. All right, I'm out. Peace.